Yeah.
Okay. All right, Chad. You're a big fan of Hawaii.
Yes, I love Hawaii.
Yes. Have you been?
I got married there.
You
once.
did?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. We've been there a couple times now over like the last couple decades. Did you know that they recently banned laughing?
I had not heard of that.
I know. They only allow low haws.
Good one.
I thought that was relatively good.
It's clean.
Okay, that's. I'm not a good. Cannot tell jokes, but I laughed at that one when I heard it online. So, all right, guys, Josh Kalinowski back at you with my man Chad Lummus for the weekly real estate update here in Casper. What's happening?
Hey, man. Hey, another week waiting for some snow to fall here.
Yes, we are, man. It is. The snow is a lot up in Buffalo and Sheridan. We're talking to our peeps up there, man. Like 6 to 8 inches right now. Heavy and wet, and I know we're getting to that here. So.
Okay.
But, if you talk to James and all these farmers out there, we need the moisture, I
yeah.
guess. But you can keep your moisture. I don't need them here. So, all right, buddy. So we got some national statistics, which are kind of interesting, and we got some local statistics, which are that in itself very interesting as well, too, man.
Correct,
so
yeah.
you want to go local? You want to go national?
Well, let's talk about the local first.
Okay.
So, again, we haven't seen you guys in a while. Last week or 2 weeks ago was the first time in a while. So, pending sales since like the end of last October, we're hanging around about 120 up until about a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And they have jumped up drastically. Now we're up to about 160 overall pending sales.
Wow.
So par for the course, it always tends to get a little bit busier once March starts. It's just kind of something clicks and starts getting busy. So that's where we're at with those 160 pending sales. So that's great. We'll see if that continues to grow. Mm-hmm. Active listings just here in Casper. At one point, we were looking at about 140, 150 active listings. We're down to 117.
Really?
Yeah. So it's still pretty competitive out there.
Yeah.
So you're going to see. Don't be surprised if you go make an offer. You see multiple. You have to make you're competing.
Yeah, actually talking to some agents already within the office, that's what they're hearing, and that's what they're feeling as well too, is that they've actually got either properties that they've got listed or they're representing buyers, and multiple offers are getting, they're coming along on listings right now. So it is a very active market. And I'm gonna give you a hint, that's not necessarily what the national market's doing.
No, it doesn't sound like it, no.
Yeah, so what else? Anything else?
That's all I have for the local market, but just it is positive out there, guys, here locally anyways.
Yeah. And I tell you what, that's actually, it's been an awesome trend to see what is going on in our local markets. Not only Casper, but the Buffalo and the Sheridan market. There was a little bit of a lull, as we were talking about, during the kind of the winter months. And then, of course, you had the election and then what happens and so forth. Yeah. And so now we're starting to see really a lot of amped up buyer demand and even sellers that are going on the market here. So they're getting sold. So now national statistics are not saying that, which is interesting, right? Now we're kind of back to our trend, what we've talked about, right? That whatever the Casper or the Wyoming market is doing, the national market is doing the opposite. Right. And that's kind of what we're seeing nationally. We've got about 665,000 homes active on the market. Now, what is important about this is last year, 2024 and even 2023, we were averaging right around 550,000 active homes on the market. So we've jumped significantly. Pending sales have actually about the same as they were last year. So there's like a 1% difference. So about the same in pending, more active homes are on the market.
Okay.
One statistic that's very interesting that I thought just kind of stood out to me was the amount of homes that have already had price adjustments, right? 34% of the active homes that are on the market had price adjustments. That's the most that we've seen in March in over a decade. So it's kind of an interesting, it's an interesting trend that's going on out there. Now, obviously, interest rates and what they do in the future are going to really be dependent on how well the market adapts to that. If interest rates continue to creep up, then we're going to see even more slower demand for new properties. We're going to see probably some adjustments in pricing going down. But if those feds do exactly what they say they're going to do, which is to decrease the interest rates, you're going to see a lot more activity pumping up.
We hope so, yeah. I did see interest rates go up a little bit again, unfortunately, but and I do want to keep you folks remember the last few Fed tax cuts or interest cuts did not affect the interest rates at all.
Right.
They did nothing.
So it's just weird, right? Now I do need some tax cuts, by the way. That would be awesome.
Did I say tax cuts?
I did say, I'd like that. Let's get some tax cuts.
Yeah,
out
there you go.
Come on, Trump.
Anyways, interest rates. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so but we'll see what happens this next time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Anything else on your end?
No,
Cool.
I'm good.
Well, spring break is coming up.
yeah, when is
so
that?
I know a lot of things are happening next week.
That's next week.
Yeah, already, man. So that means like you guys, we always got to love spring break, right? That means that we're already getting into the month of April. That's when those heavy snowfalls come, but we're going to start to see that 50s, 60s, even popping into that 70-degree weather. So summer and spring are almost here. We're excited about that.
Yes.
And I want to give a big shout out to my man Jimmy Klager. I got the new hat on that he sent me the other day. This is
love
pretty
it, dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big Lion fan as it is. But this is pretty cool. It could be. We're gonna go with the Lion. I feel much better.
No,
with
it
the
looks
Lion.
like a lion, dude.
But he gave me a couple hats. I love this. This
Yeah.
is super cool. So my man Jimmy, thanks for that, buddy. All right, well that's what we got for you today. Have an awesome rest of your week, and as always, we'll be here to let you know what's going on.